Imagine walking into a luxury hotel, dressed sharp and ready for a peaceful stay, only to be greeted with suspicion instead of hospitality. That's exactly what happened to Marcus, a successful, self-made businessman, when he arrived at an upscale hotel for a meeting. Despite having a reservation, the staff questioned his presence, and within moments, things escalated. Security was called, and Marcus, humiliated and furious, was escorted out as guests whispered and stared. But little did they know, the man they had judged so quickly wasn't just anyone. Marcus was a visionary, and what happened that day sparked a plan they would never see coming. Months later, the same hotel was under new management, and when Marcus walked through those doors again, the staff's reaction was nothing short of priceless. What changed, and how did Marcus turn the tables? Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. Marcus had always been a man who worked hard to defy expectations. Growing up in a modest neighborhood, he had faced countless challenges but never let them define him. He built his wealth through determination, sharp instincts, and a deep understanding of business, becoming a respected entrepreneur in his field. That day at the hotel, however, was a reminder of the barriers he still faced, even after achieving so much. As he walked away from the scene, his frustration turned into focus. For weeks, Marcus couldn't get the experience out of his mind. He replayed every moment, the dismissive glances, the condescending tone of the manager, and the outright refusal to treat him with respect. It wasn't just about him anymore, it was about something bigger. That's when an idea began to form. What if he could turn this insult into an opportunity? But what exactly was Marcus planning? Marcus started digging into the hotel's history and ownership, using his network to gather every detail. It turned out the establishment, despite its glitzy exterior, was struggling financially. Declining profits, outdated management, and poor reviews had left it vulnerable to a buyout. The more Marcus learned, the clearer his vision became. He wasn't just going to purchase a hotel, he was going to transform it into a place where no one would ever experience the humiliation he had felt. Meanwhile, the hotel staff carried on as usual, completely unaware of what was unfolding. For them, it was just another day of catering to high-profile guests while silently judging those they thought didn't belong. But behind the scenes, Marcus was negotiating, strategizing, and building a plan to take over. As the paperwork moved forward, Marcus couldn't help but think about the manager who had belittled him. How would they react when the tables turned? The day finally arrived. Marcus had finalized the deal, signed the papers, and officially become the new owner of the hotel. But instead of making an immediate announcement, he decided to keep his identity a secret for just a little longer. He wanted to see if anything had changed, if the staff had learned to treat every guest with dignity. Dressed in the same tailored suit he wore the day he was thrown out, Marcus walked through the revolving doors once again. This time, he noticed every detail, the forced smiles at the front desk, the subtle side glances from the lobby attendants, and the same manager standing behind the counter, barking orders at employees. When Marcus approached the desk to request a room, the manager barely looked up before dismissing him. It was happening again, but Marcus stayed calm, letting the moment unfold. How would they react when they found out who he really was? Marcus stayed composed, his sharp eyes observing every move the manager made. Once again, the same dismissive tone echoed in the lobby as the manager waved him off, claiming the hotel was fully booked. This time, however, Marcus didn't walk away. Instead, he calmly asked to speak with the hotel's new owner. The manager's expression shifted slightly, now annoyed, as they explained that the owner wasn't available for casual complaints. Besides, the manager added with a smirk, "Someone like you wouldn't need to bother the owner. Maybe try another hotel." At that moment, one of the junior staff members stepped forward, nervously interrupting. They had seen Marcus's name listed in an internal memo about the ownership transfer. Whispers spread through the staff like wildfire, and the tension in the room thickened as realizations started to dawn. But Marcus said nothing, letting the silence do the talking. The truth was seconds away from unraveling, and no one was prepared for what would happen next. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to Marcus. Calmly, he reached into his pocket, pulled out the ownership documents, and placed them on the counter. "Actually," he said, locking eyes with the stunned manager, "I am the new owner." The color drained from the manager's face as they fumbled for words. The staff whispered in disbelief, realizing the man they had just dismissed now held the future of their jobs in his hands. But Marcus wasn't finished. Turning to the junior staff member who had stepped forward earlier, he smiled. "Thank you for doing the right thing. I could use someone like you in a leadership role." The young employee's face lit up as the other staff looked on in shock. Then Marcus addressed the manager directly. "You taught me something important, how not to run a business. Today's your last day here." As the manager hurriedly packed up and left, Marcus stayed true to his vision. He implemented changes that fostered respect and equality, transforming the hotel into a symbol of hospitality done right. And just as he walked out of the lobby that day with his head held high, he walked back in as an owner, proving that dignity and determination always win. In the months that followed, the hotel flourished under Marcus's leadership. The once struggling business became a thriving hub, known for its impeccable service and welcoming atmosphere. Guests from all walks of life felt at home, and the staff, now trained to prioritize respect and professionalism, took pride in their work. The junior employee Marcus had promoted proved to be an asset, helping to lead the transformation with passion and dedication. For Marcus, the journey wasn't just about proving a point. It was about creating change. He had turned a moment of humiliation into an opportunity to inspire and uplift. As he walked through the bustling lobby one evening, watching guests and staff interact with genuine warmth, he couldn't help but smile. The hotel wasn't just a building anymore. It was a symbol of resilience, fairness, and second chances. And Marcus's story became a reminder that dignity, backed by determination, could rewrite any narrative.